high mobility, a lot of burst damage.
Swap would definitely be good. Maybe Death Prophet. Okay, they actually picked them. So it's Huck mid, Razor. They might do it like an active right lane.
Interesting. Okay, well, we'll see exactly how they set this up. Obviously, Na'Vi with a couple of different options, but Luna, very teamfight-centric. I do kind of like it here because she's a carry that does a lot of magic damage, you know, probably until like level 10, level 12 or so, something like that. She can group up in 5-man, drop the ultimate, drop Lucid Beams on top of good setups from Lil and Braun, and you don't even really think of Luna as a hard carry in that regard. Also with Laura, right? Great for those combative, sort of chaotic 5-man games, and both teams have fight heavy drafts, and I think this is definitely a situation where the Luna can work.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely... The only issue is I'm a little worried about Navi's laning phase. There's potential for... I mean, Gyro's not the greatest laner in the lost, but I mean, it looks like they're aggroing to a Witch Doctor and Gyro. That is a pretty scary lane to dealing, especially if you have a squishy carry like a Luna. We know that the Doom is going to get crushed by the Razor. We know where all the action is going to happen. I mean, that's usually how it is. But like you said, the fighting coming from both teams, potential for team fights, is just so huge. This is going to be a complete slugfest, to be sure.
I think so. Helm here.
How long?
That's a good question. I've been hosting a lot more than I've been casting recently, you know?
Better casting or are you moving up in the world? Or?
I think they're just... Hang on a second. I think they're just... That's the best way that I can explain it. Hosting's a little more natural, but there's something about knowing, okay, if things are wrong, my job is skills. You can only do that for so long before you need to take a break and kind of like refresh your anecdotes, you know, read a couple books. So it's nice to get out there and cast and like feel like you're back on the front lines. You know, you see the action right as it's happening, and I tend to remember games a little bit better when I actually see them live. So
yeah. Speaking of action, we're gonna have some bottom lane.
Absolutely, Na'Vi off to an aggressive start. It was a 5-man smoke, and now a rotation into the enemy bottom lane. They're gonna do a delta split, and it looks like they'll dodge again altogether. Pretty nicely done by Team Bull. They saw they were outnumbered and minimize their losses.
I think there was a very specific purpose for that. I don't think that they were smoking to necessarily get a kill. Obviously, they were leading with tanking, so they were trying. And actually, they might get there, but I think they were trying to scout the lane to see the rotations. And now they see what the lanes are, so they get to pick and choose where they want to put the rotations. A huge advantage, no matter if they get a kill or not. This is an advantage to Na'Vi.
And look at this ward here. Na'Vi know exactly what's going on. They've got great vision of these heroes. And LeBron's going to hide in the tree line here. Very patient, wait for somebody to walk by, and then they may find an opening. Whatafaka going to reveal himself, throw a couple of auto attacks. Meanwhile, on the other side, Arrow going to take some damage. The kinetic field comes out just a little bit short. The cask takes a couple of bounces, but of course, only level 1 and not effective. So, yeah, I mean, no blood drawn.
That cask is like, we saw it there, just completely stop that that engagement. Like, they're getting bonked on the head. That's kind of what I'm worried about for be here. That Witch Doctor is actually pretty notoriously hard to aggro. Casks. The only thing is Kuka's pretty weak without levels. Gyro, so I think that's what they're trying to capitalize on.
Yep, down bottom, but the torrent comes the other way, and LeBron will be repelled and actually ends up taking more damage than it would seem based on how that engagement started. Sand King walks away, gonna have to choose through some tangos, only one left. Yeah, this is... I think both teams have fairly decent tri lanes. If you were just to ask me in a vacuum, hey, how do you think these three heroes work in an aggro tri? So it's going to come down to execution. Whatafaka sort of gets left alone here. He drops a cast, gets some nice bounces. The Sand King falls short on the burrow strike, but they still get the kill regardless. It's Crystallized that gets credit for the kill, and Na'Vi certainly happy with that as they find the early advantage in this lane. I think Team Invincible just need to play a little bit more together. That felt more like a 3v1 than a 3v3
yeah, that was ballsy. Them standing so aggressively over the left. It's almost offlaner. There's 3 people that are just waiting there.
Yeah. Tough.
It looks like Invincible, and they're just trying to play the Brass game, just using the Black Cannon and Brass.
I do worry a little bit that Kunkka and Witch Doctor are 2 supports that can maybe fall off harder than these other 2 supports. You know, like Sand King and Disruptor can still do a lot just with experience, but at some point, Witch Doctor and Kunkka kind of need items to be able to make those setups. You know, Witch Doctor with just Brown Boots becomes a pretty easy target once you get into the mid game. We'll see the Kunkka initiated on again. It's another of these 1v3 situations. One more auto attack and they should find it. He pops the stick charges, but it's not enough, and Lil gets another one and now finds an Arcane Rune. Very quickly, this bottom lane falling apart for Team Invincible.
And Lil is actually such a experienced Disruptor player. You can kind of tell because most Disruptors are going to go for the Thunderstrike at level 1. He knew that the static field would be super, super effective in the game, and he's already used it so many times to just to basically perma-stun him.
Yep, Cass taking a couple bounces, goes back to Luna. She does get hit by the Maledict, taking a lot of damage, but I don't think it's enough for a kill. Now Arrow, the one that may get turned on. Lil doing the big damage again. He's got 4 wand charges and 30 HP. He will survive, but more importantly for Na'Vi, their Luna survives, as that was pretty much a full rotation coming out of Invincible.
Yeah, the Maledict looked like damage there, but yes, that's the thing about it. An aggro tri-lane. It's just, you just have so much reach.
Now LeBron goes in, trying to save Lil, and X is going to come out as the cast takes some bounces. LeBron will die first, but Wadafucka getting very low. Crystallize will find that one. Another rocket barrage. Not enough as they trade 1 for 1 again. The Luna finding a kill. Meanwhile, up top, General stealing a lot of damage from the Doom. It's going to be General that gets the kill. Doombringer tries to man up, but doesn't quite do the math on that one, and it will go the way of General. Meanwhile, mid, now Dendi. Just doing a little harass, clearing out some creep waves. Looks like mid is relatively even. Dendi with a small advantage on the puck, but most of the action down here in this bottom lane, of course.
Yeah, I kind of expected the other 2 lanes. I mean, it's pretty obvious who to wash should be super Razor favorite, which it is.
Yeah. 20-7 versus 2-0. I mean, this Doombringer is broke right now.
That's gotta hurt the Doom to try and go for that kill, as well as, you know, sitting on top of losing start. I mean, obviously it's expected. Which is a Razor, but like he's gonna be at a level that's bad. Now it's gonna be even harder for him. Razor's gonna.
Yeah, I'm with you. Both teams have heroes that are feel kind of momentum-based, maybe more so than other carries. And Razor, very high on that list. When he has a start like this, he just becomes so hard to deal with. I feel like maybe S and Y could be an item that Razor gravitates towards this game. If you're already ahead in terms of experience and farm, then you get just a nice beefy item like that lets you chase people down. Very hard to deal with. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Wadafucka getting very low. The Cask doing what it can, but not enough to keep the Witch Doctor alive. Now Lil getting low, but again, the Gyrocopter realizes he doesn't have the damage, and it's just not the tri-lane on tri-lane that Invincible were hoping for. Witch Doctor comes back in, and he's taking huge damage. He may fall again. It's an X-Torrent combo on the Sand King. They find the kill there, but still Na'Vi just running circles around this bottom lane. The Gyro now taking a tumble, and Luna, I think, picking up her 3rd kill now. 3-0-2 in just 5 minutes as the Dire position 1.
You're pretty happy if you're Luna and you get 3 kills and 2 participated in 5 of 6 of the kills.
Yeah. So,
like you were saying in the draft, this is with that aura, with fighting capabilities, making
yeah, I think this will be enough. They've got the Maledict level 2 now, so quite a bit more damage. They hit a full combo, and Crystallize will finally get brought down. Witch Doctor will take credit for the killing spree, and a recovery is made. But look at this, a big rotation from Na'Vi. The General is here, and he's got friends. They'll glimpse back the Gyrocopter. He is definitely dead. Dendi has also joined the party. They interrupt the TP from Arrow, and Na'Vi will clean it up once more. It's a big rotation, but they make a little bit of space for Luna to just rotate up top, pressure this Doom out of lane, and soak up that farm, while they still put a lot of pressure on the enemy safe lane. They might even turn this into a tower push now that General's got that Aquila.
Dude,
Very nice.
I love this timing from Na'Vi. They made that lane rotation on like at some point the aggro can't be aggro anymore. You know, Luna needs to take the jungle, Luna needs to take the stacks.
Right.
Like Luna has to be in the safe lane at some point. Razor gets huge enough. So instead of just walking the Razor or TPing him bot, they do a huge smoke, and it's on a siege wave too. So the repercussions to the enemy team is tower damage for them.
Yep.
And that's just really nicely timed. Like Luna's just sitting top.
Yeah, here we go. The two-man squad on the way in, but look who's right there. It's Lil. It's almost like he expected this. The Torrent isn't going to be enough damage. With Gyrocopter here, perhaps, if they still kill Wadafaka before Crystallize gets brought down. So in a situation where your Luna is pretty much guaranteed to be dead, at least they get a kill and Luna gets experience for it. So Na'Vi still finding a positive here, even though they lose that.
Yeah. Although that is the, I mean, Luna's pretty high up there, but that hurts. That does hurt. And she had a big gold gyro cup.
But I think the big breadwinner, one that's about to get ganked right now, it's the OD. He's pretty much been left alone, and now there are 4 heroes in his lane. His Kunkka's rotated, he's dropped a Torrent, but it's not going to be enough to save his prize mid laner. And now they may continue to pressure this Kunkka. A glimpse back from Lil. One more stun ought to do it. LeBron wants to dive, but not going to have the angle. And he will retreat after taking a couple of power shots. Another good rotation from Na'Vi. OD was that leading farmer on Team Invincible by a nice little margin there. Still is, but that will slow him down.
And they're doing a good job on the side of Na'Vi, kind of giving everyone the action. He has been properly introduced to a Razor. Let's just walk over and kill him.
Well,
as he did to the bottom lane.
Dendi found a double damage rune and just walked in on the low HP Kunkka. Made it look pretty easy there because I think it was.
That DD puck is pretty stupid, you know. And what is it, 170 damage? It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
At least.
Pretty high base damage hero as well. Now back in the bottom lane, Sand King and Razor kind of posturing like they want to have a go on this Doom. Doom has found a little bit of recovery farm. He's at least level 7 as his base boots up. Meanwhile, in the top lane, a real engagement is breaking out. They kill the Gyro as well as the Witch Doctor. Invincible just outnumbered. They've got 2 heroes around the mid lane right now and no enemies nearby. So OD is farming, but they lose their position 1 once more.
Na'Vi is really prioritizing these lane rotations. They're just super active.
Radiant's top tower is on the rocks.
But they're getting a lot from it. But like you said, the OD's farming in the mid lane. We saw the Doom farm in the bottom lane when the rotations were happening also. So it's not like TL aren't TIs or aren't getting something out. They're getting something. It's just that they're leaving a Razor against them. And actually, speaking of which, they're gonna kill the Razor. Unless he just
He's just a little bit too fast. The Torrent will connect. They don't need the X setup, but now Sand King's here. Maybe they can turn this. Doom has been used on General, but he got off the link, so he'll at least have some right-click damage here if he can survive through it, but it looks like that won't be the case. They get the deny. Nicely done by LeBron. The well played from General comes out to thank his comrade there. LeBron has a stun available as well as 10 stick charges. It looks like he will be A-okay. So just as you were mentioning, another good rotation on the Razor. Absolutely how you want to use the Doom at this stage in the match. But now Dendi, he finds a Witch Doctor. A lot of damage on the puck, and just a couple of right clicks will secure that one. A dominating streak now secured for the Na'Vi Fairy Drill.
Dendi's just kind of looking. He's kind of playing like a 4-roll this game. He's just kind of walking and getting a rune and then just looking to see what's up. You know, just kind of fishing. Yeah. Every time he's fishing, he's awesome.
Top lane, General is respawned and rotated. Arrow will fall once again as this team fight breaks out. They glimpse and pull back the Gyrocopter. It's a twofer for Na'Vi in the top lane. They strike back, and even though it's felt relatively even, as you've mentioned, Invincible have found some things around the map. 16-4 at 11 minutes. It is absolutely this dire team that is cranking up the aggression.
Aggressive every single so I guess they know that they can actually get objectives by doing that. They can minimize the amount of map. If they didn't have pushers, I guess this would be kills for nothing. The heroes would be farming, but they can really get something out of it. And then we see Lil farming in the bottom lane too. He's going to be level 6 Disruptor now, so they're actually making space for him.
Yeah, one of the hallmarks of what makes Lil such a great player in this position, understanding when to be right there next your cores and defend them in team fights or rotations, and understanding when to go off on your own and make sure you do find your own experience, especially on a hero like Disruptor. That's a game-changing ultimate right there, and we've definitely seen games lost when a Disruptor gets stuck at level 4, level 5, because he's constantly playing that sacrificial lamb. So he'll get that space now. He's also got that Tome of Knowledge hiding away in the inventory. So things coming up. Na'Vi right now, both supports on the Radiant while we're on that point. Not yet at the ultimate stage. Kunkka 5 and Witch Doctor only level 4. Those also game-changing ultimates, right? You talked about the importance of the boat, and so far we haven't even seen Kunkka be able to do that full combo.
Yeah, I think that's when we'll really see team fights start to get turned around. Gyro. He's gonna not have that boat available for a little bit longer.
Oh my.
So close. He's so close.
That really hurt. You're like, just one creep, dude. Come on, just one creep. Let me just get this. It's worth it to die if I get to level 6, and... fuck.
I would... It sucks to be Arrow in this game, because he has hit some beastly forms, just like, without any setup. And, but Na'Vi have just played the fight so well, like the Knight on the Razor. It hasn't turned out to accomplish anything. Fight him really nice.
Well, down bottom. This will be another opportunity. Kunkka just needs to leech one of these creeps. Stay near the tower, my friend, because you're going to need that boat. Just a couple minutes here.
Na'Vi smokes.
Lil in the front lines. Kunkka does finally find the level 6. Whatafaka still does not have the death for it, but Doom, the one that gets initiated on, he may get silenced before he can even use the ultimate. It's the Puck that jumps in. They bring down the Kunkka first, then the Doom, and this fight looking disastrous for the Radiant. Lil ends up falling as now OD rotates in. He's pretty darn fast, and he will start to clean this up. They go 2 for 2 as the Luna is the next fallen hero for Na'Vi. General and Dendi can make their retreat, and they will survive. So a little bit of an awkward fight. An advantage for Invincible, though. The OD, hanging on to that TP for just the right amount of time, and then entering that fight as soon as Na'Vi are completely committed. He did pick up drums there as well, so he was able to get in the right position. Haze on the OD.
Yeah, that was a good rotation from them, recognizing clearly they were like, okay guys, like Kunkka has boat, this is where we turn around the fight with the gyro, be like, oh, we'd be ready to TP, and they were. And the only unfortunate thing was on the side of
Oh, he needed one more? Lil's gonna find it, so they do get the kill. Makes you sweat for a moment there. Yeah. Meanwhile, back mid, Puck with another double damage rune, just trying to pressure this tier 1 tower, is now crystallized. Going to be joining him here. There is a Veil picked up on the Puck, so really good stats on Dendi, as well as just some huge magic damage, as you would expect. Rotation into the jungle. They'll find Arrow again. It's LeBron that kind of starts things off. The Luna nearby as the boat flies across. Does not stun LeBron. He's trying to get back to his friends with the cast, doing a lot of work. General and Lil getting completely repelled, and they're likely going to have to retreat here. They really want this Kunkka kill, but not going to be able to find it. Instead, it'll be Na'Vi that just lose one of their supports. And again, Team Invincible come out ahead, but all the while, Crystallize working on this triple stack of Ancients over here. So Na'Vi, even though losing a hero in that little skirmish, still trying to find ways to get some farming efficiency.
Yeah, so Na'Vi are being the aggressors. I think no matter what, they're almost always going to be getting more to the map, you know. If they win the fight, they're going to the objective, you know, it's on their side of the map, or on the enemy side of the map, sorry, so they're providing space for their Luna and so forth, but as we're, you know, saying that, the Doom actually got the tier 1 top, which is going to make Na'Vi's map like a little bit smaller, so that's pretty important that he got that. Split pushing Doom isn't something he actually ended up taking that power. He's going for a minus, being very, very green.
Yeah. A little surprised, honestly, to see the hand of Midas. I thought, given the state of affairs in this early game, he might be looking to go for something just to give him some stats in the here and now. They already have a drum, so maybe not the item you want here, but oh, LeBron almost finding that stun in the bottom lane. However, the flip side is if they can just hold on, it will allow this Doom to really accelerate through the mid game. Something tells me, though, Jenkins, that Na'Vi haven't even really hit that point of aggression yet. That once they get this next key item on Luna, like maybe it's that BKB, they're going to put the pedal to the metal.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be very difficult for Invincible to have those farming items come to fruition. But up top, we'll see a static storm come that'll stop the Kunkka. And that'll be the end of the engagement. Okay, nice defensive play from Lil.
I think you're right. I think we haven't seen the total capabilities of Na'Vi's lineup, and I think that's just because the cores, like, they've been playing together, but only in groups of 2. We've always seen one of them off somewhere else farming, but when they're finally together, I mean, these heroes pair really, really well. The Puck Coil on top of the Structure Sand King ultimate, Razor just linking. They have so much capability of just doing a ton of damage in teamwork together, but we've only seen them in.
Now, I was talking about the Luna BKB being a key item. Same goes for the Gyrocopter. He's not that far away, just about a Mithril Hammer to go, and he'll have 10 seconds of magic immunity, and, I mean, it might not be ultimately enough, but it's enough to buy them a victory in the mid-game for sure. Na'Vi very reliant on magic damage right now, so I think this Gyro has the right build in mind.
Oh yeah, I think you're right about the Luna BKB. I think both teams rely very heavily on that. In fact, they actually kind of have pretty similar teams, honestly, in terms of how they fight. So,
but this is the difference here, Jenkins. Luna went from a triple stack at the bottom Ancients, now in the Dire Jungle, working on a 4 stack, it looks like. I think that's a double Lizard. So Na'Vi, I mean, just the supporting cast around this Luna have done a really job making sure that Crystallize can fight when it makes sense and then go back to farming and have a lot of creeps to farm when choosing to do.
And I think that's the Ancient stacks are actually a large reason Na'Vi has been choosing to fight on the enemy team's side. Then the stacks aren't going to get stolen by the Gyro. It's perfectly capable of taking those stacks. So, and then on the side of Team Invincible, they don't have any stacks because they couldn't. They're getting constantly, bullied on their own side of the map. So.
Look at this, Jenkins. The Razor build. He's gone Drum into Hooded Defiance. A great value item, really easy build up, gives you some sustainability, but just enough to absorb that burst damage so that Razor can survive a full volley if he gets caught by the Kunkka and then turn and just man up in a fight. I really like this build.
Yeah, I think they need a frontline tank with it's gonna soak the bow, the Gyro into going at right after.
Yeah.
They take a easy, but I don't want to say easy.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Hooded Defiance, super.
Still, Na'Vi just continuing to get more efficiency out of the map. Those all 5 heroes of Invincible grouped up at that top tier 2. Na'Vi were never even really committed to it. You know, they spent about 15 seconds looking for an opening. They couldn't catch one. Immediately, the Razor ends up in the bottom lane, pushes that out, and now he's clearing the enemy jungle. You look at Invincible, they're still kind of all grouped up as 4. You look at their vision, they're having a lot of trouble reading Na'Vi right now. Are they going back to farming? Are they going to push? Feeling like they need to stay together in case somebody gets jumped. But all the while, they're not really getting a hell of a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually very interesting to see how Na'Vi choose to. I mean, they were just going balls to the wall, fighting non-stop. But then they realized the game hits a certain point where they can just take map advantage. We can see that the net worth lead they have to go up and up, and they're just. They could fight right now, but they don't even care to because they know that they're getting better efficiency in the map.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Dota's an economic game, and here we go. They'll find a pickoff. Whatafaka going to be the one that bumps into the roaming duo of Na'Vi. Great spread between the two. So the Witch Doctor can't even get off a cast, maybe drop the ultimate for a turn. No opportunity, and it ends up just being in a freebie. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Dendi gets caught by a torrent, though. Both going to fly across. Phase shift will be there. And now just the blink away. Fairy Dragon will be a little too much to grab onto.
Now, the only way that they can fuck this game. It's so hard. We just saw the X. I mean, he even hit torrent.
Yeah, he's got the Yule Scepter as well, so just one more way the puck can kind of reset fights. Now, Hurricane Pike going to be used as Crystallized drops the ultimate. Not going to do a lot of damage, but it does repel Invincible from committing hard to that fight, so still an okay use of the Eclipse. Now Dendi getting low. He's going to get pushed back, but it's really just a distraction. They kill the Doom on the other side. Dendi with the Yules comes back down to earth, drops the Dream Coil, blinks away, and now Odi in a lot of trouble. He's going to come out of this Astral, and it's going to be an easy pick for Na'Vi. Lil might actually get killed as he gets pulled into the tower. Torrent on top of it, nothing he can do. It's a nice little turnaround for Arrow, but when it's all said and done, it's 2 cores down in exchange for just 1 support on Na'Vi, and they are going to try to see the tier 2 out of this. Arrow also just gets a little bit too close, underestimating the reach of the Sand King, and that'll be a 1 for 3. Now as Na'Vi secure another.
See the power of the 3 Na'Vi cores being paired together, and they looked awful. I mean, that was actually a really good fight for Gyro had BKB. Like they had all the baits going on, and it didn't even matter because they've just been taking such great map efficiency that they have so much on the side of Na'Vi that a fight would have to go absolutely disastrously for them. And this Dendi on the puck was just baiting so many spells with the spaceship where they really need to get the Doom. Doom didn't manage to get too much.
Oh, this poor Witch Doctor. He does manage to throw a ward down before he dies at least, but a very small victory as he pays with his life.
Hey, George, you remember what you were saying? Witch Doctor runs around with brown boots, you know, and he doesn't have any items, he just kind of feeds.
Yeah.
Looking like the life for him.
Yeah, it'd be really nice if we could get that Force Staff. Lil doesn't have an invisibility rune. That's a Shadow Amulet. So trying to think a step ahead here, playing this very cautiously. An interesting...
What is he
just
doing?
inching forward. Okay, he gets a ward down.
He's gonna glimpse the Witch Doctor. Oh, look at that.
They're thinking about it. You can see the pings. But no, alright, so he's just going to hang out there. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Crystallize and Dendi putting some pressure onto this tier 2. Looks like it'll go undefended, so that's going to be a free tower going the way of Na'Vi. Lil still venturing around, gets another ward down. Also drops a sentry, and he's going to continue to Shadow Amulet across. This is one sneaky disruptor.
Really spamming that macro. Now he's setting something up again. We see the Luna as the BKB now, so
Oh, Sand King jumps in, and that's dead Doom. If you blinked, you might have missed it, but Doom basically evaporates, and now they're going to go straight in. The Witch Doctor gets pulled back by a glimpse, and it's a quick twofer. Crystallize hitting very hard right now, about 250 in auto attack, chunking down these towers pretty quick as Na'Vi will now maybe begin the high ground siege. Nope, they go the other way. They smoke. They know that they've got vision control around this area because Lil was just planting wards. And they're either going to go for the Roach or just try to knock down that last outer tower. And hey, why not both? They're going to do the Roach first, and this will be very difficult for Invincible to contest. They are going to move up that way, but remember, vision is in favor of Na'Vi.
Yeah, they're going to see everything, though. And we have 2 BKBs on the side of Na'Vi.
Oh my, Dendi catches the Kunkka. He's still going to have the X, so he'll be able to make it back. He hits the Torrent, but meanwhile on the other side, hey, it's LeBron and Lil. BKBs get popped. Gyro tries to stand his ground. It mitigates some damage from the Eclipse, but it will not mitigate the damage from that Razor. Whatafaka gets chased down, and General going to be able to man up on the other side. The Doom has respawned. He's such a low level, and that's going to be it. They call GG right there. And honestly, Jenkins, probably not a moment too soon. They still had all of their barracks standing, but 34-8. Na'Vi bring the pain.